This conference will now be recorded.
Hi guys, welcome to next video. In the last session, we forgot to discuss about how to replace a value as null. So we'll see it now, how we are going to replace a particular value as a null value. And post that, we'll discuss about how to read only particular columns by using read_CSV. Then we'll discuss about how to write the data into a file using to_CSV. So these are the three things we are going to be looking now. The first one is how to replace a value as null, then displaying only required columns from the file. Then finally, we are going to be write the data into flatfile. Okay, let's look into that. To start your practicals, go to Anaconda Navigator, launch your Jupyter Notebook. Here we can write our code. So the very first one is import pandas as PD. So as usual, I'm going to read same data here. So PD dot read_CSV, then pass your file path. So what's your file name? India_call_sales dot txt. So I'm passing my delimiter here equal to comma. Right. So now try to execute this one. So we do have totally 10 records here. Now, so what's the first one? How to replace a value to null value. Let's say I do have a quantity I do have number of sales happen in 2007 for Toyota call is 2884, right? Now I'm going to be replace this value as null. So for that, if you want to replace a particular value to null, you can pass NA_values. Then you need to pass the particular value here, right? So NA_values will replace the value to a null value. So let's execute now. If you can see here, it has two values here, 2884. If you can see the original data, for the quantity, it has 2884. And for the percentage of the market share, it has 2884. So when you are applying this function, wherever the value is, it does not bother about the column. It does bother about the value only. So wherever the value is there, it will go ahead and replace the value. But this does not make sense, right? If you want to change the value only in the quantity column, but not in PCT. So in this case, how we are going to be write the code? So let's see here. I'm going to pass a dictionary here. Then in the dictionary, just place your word column name, quantity. Then place your value. So what's my value here? 2884. Now try to execute the code. See here. Now the value in quantity field became null value, but the percentage of the market share remains same. Right. If you want to change in PCT, you just pass your column name here and it can execute your PCT. So likewise, you can pass any of the value here, and even though you can pass any number of values here, let's see 2884, I'm passing to 82521. See here, I'm sorry, that should be 19.9 because I'm passing percentage market share, right? I'm trying to pass 19.9. So just try to execute this one. See here. So in a list, you can pass any number of values under the particular column. Okay, right. And if you want to make other value in quantity, so let's say if you want to make other value in quantity, you can pass the value like this. Just put a comma, again pass your column here. Let's say quantity, then place your list. So here I'm trying to pass 870 as the value, right? So you can execute it now. See here, 870 value became null. In percentage of the market share field, 2884 and 19.9 became null values. This is how you can utilize NA underscore values, right? Now, so I don't want to read all the data. I'm sorry, I don't want to read all the data of all the columns. I need only particular fields, like I need only year, maker, or year quantity. If you want to display only a particular fields, okay, so then we need to pass a parameter use columns. So let's see here, when I'm trying to importing same set of the data, so I'm passing until here. Then here we need to pass use columns equal to, so what we need to pass here, you need to pass the columns in a list. So my column is year and your second column is, let's say, quantity, right? So if you want to display these two columns only, sorry, then you can execute this one. See here, now from the file, I'm only reading only two columns, which are the required columns. So in this way, you can avoid reading of all the columns with the data. This way, you can improve the performance of your reading, right? Now, so once you have the data, I would like to export my data into a file. So how to do that? Let's say this is my car underscore sales. Okay, this is my car underscore sales data frame. This data frame has all the data. I'm trying to try to execute it. It has all the data. I would like to export all this data into same CSV file or in a other CSV file. To do that, you can use a function to underscore CSV. For reading, what we are using, read underscore CSV. For writing, we are using to underscore CSV. The same way, you can pass your path along with the file name. Let's say I'm trying to use the same here, same path. Then I'm giving modified data.csv, right? So if you can execute this one, let's see what will happen. And just move on to the path here. You can see modified underscore data. Just try to open this, and if you can see here, year quantity and the data. And if you can see here, we can see one more record, one more column, which is the indexed column and the sequence numbers of the data. Right, this is a sequence number of the data. So if you want to maintain the index, I mean, if you want to see the index column, so we can see that. And if you don't want to display or print these particular values to a file, we can do that. If you don't want to display that one, we need to pass index equal to false. If you pass index equal to false, then execute this one. Just reload your file, you can see that. Now I can see my original data, perfect data. If you want to display that, you can go ahead and do that. If you don't want to display, you can simply pass index equal to false. You can mention true also. Default it is true. Right. So just reload it. See, default it is true. And I'm placing it as default false. Also, if you want to change the delimiter, see what's the default delimiter for CSV, comma separated, but I want to pass delimiter as pipe, right? So we have to pass a separator here, a separator. Record separator is going to be our column, sorry, column separator is a pipe delimiter. So you can execute it now and try to reload the file. See here, my column separator is now pipe delimiter. So in this way, you can export the data, and we can see multiple options also in future sessions. And if you want to know about more about read_csv, go to pandas.pyData.org. You can have more options here, and you can explore the options. These are all the options what are available in read_csv. Right. You can explore the options one by one. If you have any questions, just comment. I'll answer your questions. Thank you, guys. We'll see you in next session.